Welcome to the RSP NFL Lens. I'm Matt Waldman with the Rookie Scouting Portfolio. We're going to take a look at second-year running back Darrell Henderson of the Los Angeles Rams. Last year, the Rams drafted Henderson with the idea of pairing him in a backfield with Todd Gurley as a big play scat back component and maybe eventually developing into a feature back when Gurley moved on. But Henderson got lost in the mix last year, mainly because at Memphis they ran a lot of gap plays. And gap plays are, for a running back, are kind of like fill in the blank. You have one possible answer that you're really trying to exploit. Whereas with zone plays that the Rams run, it's more like multiple choice. You have usually one of three choices. You have to be a little bit more patient with finding that answer. And so now we are in 2020, second game. Cam Akers was an early draft pick, supposed to be the lead back, gets hurt. And early on, they're going to acclimate Darrell Henderson to this game by running a toss play. Now, toss features pulling blockers. You have your tight end and your tackle kicking out to the outside, and you're working from the near hash to the far flat, which gives Henderson a nice runway to work downhill and leverage his acceleration. That's a good way to get him started. You're going to see the linebacker work through his block of the guard and work to the outside. Henderson does a good job with that momentum-based power to pull through that wrap. But what I want you to watch is his footwork. See how he's able to break himself to stop his momentum from going out of bounds. Uses that outside foot to plant, and then he really does a nice job of using the flexion of his inside foot to break himself and get downhill and get 5 yards on a play that he could have wound up out of bounds for a short gain. This little braking motion to make these tight turns is important. We're going to look at that in a moment. Now, this is a zone play in the red zone, and you're going to see Henderson make a nice cutback here. It's important to watch him on zone plays because he didn't have a lot of experience with it at Memphis. So you're going to see him work to his right and press that crease, and you're going to see the leverage of the defenders all working to the right. All their helmets are to the right side of the from Henderson's point of view, and he's going to make a nice little cutback, and you're going to see him begin to open his hips. And he does a good job here of opening his hips right here, pointing that toe. The leg comes open. He's going to work to that outside. And when I talked about that ability to corner tightly, you're going to see it come into play here because he needs to get either fully outside this defensive back and get outside him or cut inside and downhill. And you prefer him to cut inside and downhill. He does this very tightly right here. See how he's able to make that nice plant with that inside leg and really get tight to his backside block. That gives him a lot of space here. Gets downhill, gets himself about 3-4 yards on the play. And it's not a lot, but it's a good gain in this part of the field. It's a good display of pressing and cutting behind your blockers and then cornering tightly to get that yardage. And when you can press and cut back and make tight turns and have Henderson's acceleration, you're eventually going to get big plays. Now, this isn't a zone block, it's duo, which means that you're going to have two double teams, 73 and 66, 66 and 79. And what Henderson does well, that is very much like a zone concept, is that he presses that crease and he's looking for a backside cut. What he does is he works towards that outside double team to that outside hip of number 77. And as he sees the crease open up backside, he's able to make this tight turn along the heels of all four blockers and exploit this lane. And then he's allowed to, at this point in the open field, does what he does well, make tight bends, accelerate through, get past the safety, and he's in the open field. Great play. While not powerful, you want to see Henderson at least show that he has some after-contact skills, some good contact balance. And he shows that here on this play where he has an unblocked defender to the edge, but he knows that the creases are filled up on this side. He's not going to be able to work to that outside crease. The defenders, you can see the leverage there. It's all bending to that direction. So he has to set up this area to his right. And he does that with a little jab step inside, gets past the defender, and then he works through the contact. Balance touch by putting his arm in the ground right there, and then continues forward. Really nice play. You also want to see Henderson in a closeout situation where they've got 8 in the box, where he's going to have to get tough yardage at the end of the game. Does a good job working downhill and pressing, reading the leverage of the defenders who have their helmets to the right side, plants and cuts back. Good job sliding through, spinning through a reach and some contact head on, and getting about 5 yards on that play. Overall, Henderson shows nice promise as a scat back who can also work deep for you in the passing game. So, he's someone that's going to figure in this offense, especially in the fact that he's showing some comfort with zone plays and inside running. Thanks again for watching. For more RSP NFL Lens videos, you can check out my YouTube channel, Matt Waldman's RSP Film Room, and my site, www.mattwaldmanrsp.com.